Hi everyone, I'm Clio. I'm a senior manager at Fondation Horlogerie. We're here today with the FHH Cultural Space. I am absolutely delighted to come back to INHORGENTA, this one again. I have the pleasure of spending the next hour or so with incredibly talented people. So please join me in welcoming Tom, Andrea, Julia, and Marc Henri, who had such a great time last year that he decided to come back for more. So thank you, and thank you for being here. So we're here today to dive into the world of watchmaking, community handling, and craftsmanship, of course. So just to start, I would like you to kindly introduce yourself and explain, your journey with watchmaking and who you are today and what brought you to watchmaking and to what you're doing. Julia, would you like to start?
Of course. Hello, everyone. So, I'm lucky that I've always been around watches because of my father, who launched and founded a Swiss-based watch magazine when I was 5 years old. And we have a great relationship. We're very close. And so he really passed me on this passion and all of his knowledge. And I've never thought that I'll be on social media one day, because I don't know, that just wasn't what I was aiming for. But I'm based in France, and we don't have a lot of watch content creator in France. We have a few, but especially we don't have any girls who are into watches, and so I couldn't find someone to relate to on social media. And so I decided to create my Instagram and TikTok page about a year and a half ago, just for fun. And it went very well. So now it's my full-time job. And we'll see what's next for me.
Yes, great. We'll go back to the community. Tom?
Hello, my name's Tom. I am TG on the internet. I've been collecting watches for probably 20, 25 years now. I started collecting watches as soon as I had any money at all. I also collect cars, and there's a bit of a parallel between the two. And my community online loves basically both of those things, and there's a big overlap between them. My full-time job now is content creation. I'm a YouTuber, Instagram person, and I make content for social media. I work with lots of cool brands around the world, get to fly around doing what I love. So long may it continue. And massive thanks for having me. And hopefully you'll have me back next year. But it's my first time to this fair, and it's awesome. So very pleased to be here.
Thank you, Tom. Andrea?
Well, first of all, thank you all for having us here, both INHORGENTA, FHH, and you guys for coming to see us and watch our talk. I'm Andrea Casalegno. I'm born and raised in Milan. People say I'm a content creator in watchmaking. I still have to figure out what I do in life, but yeah, it's my full-time job, apparently. I started a solid 11 years ago doing something, which at the time was going around watch fairs, collecting some vintage pieces and organizing dinners. And then it evolved into articles somehow, and nowadays with content, social media, and dinners once again. So we're going to have one tonight, for example, here in Munich. Second dinner in Germany, actually, but the first one ever in Munich. I'm active as IAMCASA on social media, and I do videos about watches. I talk about watches to people. That's apparently what I do.
Thank you. I think watches is the common denominator between all you guys. Marc Henri?
Hi.
Hello.
Really happy to be here again.
Again.
That's my second year in INHORGENTA. I had really good fun last year, so I wanted to come back. So my story with watches is from my father. I actually discovered what was a watch looking at my father's wrist. And that was just a thing of, a man have to have a watch at a certain age. And then I didn't really care about it for a long time. And then a lot of my friends start watching in this watching industry. And obviously they start sharing it and everything. So you get curious about it. I will say that I'm kind of the result of you people. So I'm a watch curious more than a watch worker.
Yeah, so Marc Henri will help us decide if you guys are doing a great job or not during this. But, talking about community and how you work and how you express yourself and you communicate, can you tell us more about how you started the community? Because in the end, you have a following, and you can see here on the presentation, we all addressed you guys with your Instagram account. So how did you start building a community? I think, Andrea, you didn't start digitally. As you said, you started with dinners. Can you tell us more about how you started in building this community?
So I started actually being passionate about watches from Instagram, but Instagram was not that big of a deal in 2015. The biggest deal, at least about watches, were forums. Forums such as Orologi Passione in Italy, which was the biggest, the most popular, the most also active. To give you like a brief insight, you posted a watch on that forum, and even like 5 minutes later, if you ask for like infos, you would have this infos right in the comments section, we can say. And that was what led me to organize the dinners, because I always use forums to gather knowledge, yes, because I love gathering knowledge from people more than books, more than articles and anything else. And so I was like, well, why don't we meet up? Because I've always been a social person. Now I'm socially awkward, apparently, but before I was kind of socially normal. But no, I was always fascinated by people, their stories, and the way they could, convey this information, this knowledge to me. And so I literally wrote in the forum, ciao, let's have a dinner. And it worked out. We were like 15 and then 20 and then 25, 30, whatever. And we kept in touch. And most of these people are still in the community somehow today, or they're clients of mine, or they're friends. And this is how I evolved this, just going straight to the point to meeting up and talking about watches. Because in the end, I also feel like social media should be about this, and it's what's lacking the most, maybe, that also due to the platform, it's hard to have a proper conversation and exchange about what we think about watches. Well, the physical aspect is crucial to have a proper conversation, and that's why my whole point of doing social media is gathering people to meet up and talk and chat about watches, but having a proper conversation more than comments or just watching.
So
That's
basically, your social media is the window display to what you want and bring in your community.
Yeah, I always say it's kind of like pulling. It's the way to pull me to what I would like to do. We call it kind of volano in Italy. It's what makes everything else move. That's the idea behind my social media. But the end goal is the community, in fact, because I find people being the most valuable asset we have, because we're social animals, we say in Italian. So we're social creatures, and we must stick to that, and watches have a lot of that embedded into them.
Tom, do you relate? How did you build your community? I feel like you started with a different crowd and then you moved it up to watches and cars.
Yeah, I actually started online doing fitness. So I was just doing gym workouts, wearing not many clothes in the gym with my twin brother, and just built an audience of people that like workouts. But it was predominantly men, and we started making some money out of the business. And then I started not wasting it, but just spending it all on watches, effectively. You like that, did you?
Was it
Which
YouTube
part?
or was it a different website?
We don't talk about that here.
Okay, sorry.
So he is joking, sort of. So I just started spending money on watches and just sharing what I was basically spending my winnings on. And I realized that the same guys that were into the gym, young blokes predominantly, they like watches as well. So I was like, oh, brilliant. I can just actually indulge my passion, and these people love it. So it swiftly turned into watches and cars, and I sacked the whole gym thing off after a while and actually got fat. But I did collect a really, really nice collection of watches, and now I'm basically just able to do what I love for a living, which it doesn't feel like a job, really. I know I probably shouldn't be saying that, but it just doesn't feel like work at all. Just kind of just talking about what I like and fondling watches. So great.
Julia?
So my idea was to bring femininity in watches, the watch world, because as we all noticed, well, it's kind of cliche that watches are for men, or that it's most men who work in the watch industry because you have a lot of women. But it's true that no women talk about watches, and so I wanted to do this. And also, I've noticed something else is that the watch industry can be quite intimidating, and there's so many things to learn, and when you want to get into watches, you don't really know where to start, and sometimes it can feel quite complicated. And so I wanted to bring femininity and also like more simplicity in the industry in general, and have an educative approach. So when I first started making videos, my idea was to teach things to people, but like in a very simple way where they can understand what we're talking about. And so I started talking about complications. What's a tourbillon? What's whatever? And people really hooked up because they could understand it easily. And that's how I built my community, because it's most likely people who want to learn about watches, and also a lot of girls. And I've had quite a lot of messages of girls telling me, I really like watches, but I'm a bit scared, I'm a bit intimidated because it's like a mains field. And yeah, that's how I got people following me, because they can learn stuff. I'm not saying like I'm an expert or anything, but that's the main goal, is to say that everyone can be into watches and learn. And yeah, basically that's how I started.
Oh, that's amazing. I think, Marc Henri, you can relate to that, because you said you were being influenced by these influencers, and this is how you got into watches.
Yeah. So the thing is, I'm a photographer and an actor as well, starting. And all my community basically were based on fashion. Mostly based on fashion, and I'm a little bit less right now, maybe because I'm turned 30. I'm trying to be slow on this, but I was a big jewellery guy, so I put the all myself on my hair, everything. So I was really young, so I really loved. I always been fascinated by my mom hearing. So the jewellery things of a watch always really like interest me. But I think the way I always been communicating about my stuff and everything was really like a journal of my life, like the stuff I was doing with work. All the way I was communicating about Fashion Week was really backstage way, really showing what is like a day of a photographer, what is a day of someone who have to run in street style backstage, of these things, and meeting those people without really meeting them. So that was really showing what is my life, professionally, a little bit personally too. And so the way my community is around me and around what I share is really just like, oh, now he's in the stage in his life where in discovering this, so we're gonna discover with him. So even the people who that was really funny, because when I post that I was in INHORGENTA again, people were like, oh, you came back to it from last year. That was really fun. They kind of wait to see what's going to happen this year. So it's all about like this kind of journal things. So all the things that I discover with you guys who doing it, let's say more professionally, like more like it's your job, me it's really as like I'm receiving what you're doing. And so the way I'm sharing it, the people discovering at the same time that I discover. So it's really a fun bit for me to be here, because I obviously learn about watches in different ways. And that's how my community relates to me with watch.
How do you sense that your community was talking to you? Especially, since you've been posting about watching and sharing your journey with watches, do you feel like your community is responding to that?
Yeah, because obviously watches, it's well known. It's it's not like a niche things
Yes.
to know, but it's actually niche when you learn the craftsmanship. That you actually realize that not everyone understands what a watch is. Not everyone know how the watch work. All this kind of stuff. So I sharing that I discovered that, and I sharing all the stage of my discovery, so people realize in the same times, oh, actually, okay, so maybe I thought a watch was like this, actually work like that, and all these kind of things, and that's really fun to me because I feel that I feel less dumb because I realize I'm not the only one who don't really know, and that's just fun to feel like you just share, your life in a way that it make people learn stuff as well. That's the way.
That's amazing.
going.
How did you guys felt like this were the community, what you were building was really taking off? Like you really had people in front of you that were responding to what you were doing? Did you feel like a change at some point? Anyone? Tom? Yes.
Yeah, by all means. My community is pretty communicative. If they buy a watch that they've seen me wearing or that I've been speaking about online, they'll send me a message. They'll send me a wrist shot saying, "Oh, look, TG, I just bought this." So it's pretty instant, really. And it's been like that for years. I think in the early days, we're talking sort of 15 years ago, it was Panerai. Huge on that, all the Paneristi, on the Paneristi forums. I was a forum lurker as well. So yeah, I mean, I think with social media, it's super instant, isn't it? There's no delay with people's responses to things, good or bad. You get it straight away. So yeah, almost immediately I realized that these people are into it.
And you explained to me that what really brought you to watches and posting watches is the watches that you like. And exactly the same way as Marc Henri, you're only sharing what you like, and your journey of watches on your Instagram is what is yours, actually.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, early doors, I didn't see it as a job. I mean, when I was studying, I went to law school. Social media wasn't a thing. I'm old enough that we didn't even have color screens on phones, so I couldn't have planned to do what I'm doing for a living right now. And in the early days of like Instagram back in 2012, 2013, I was just posting crummy wrist shots, just thinking, I like this, I'm just going to stick it on the internet, occasional photo of my dinner. And I didn't foresee this as a job. So it all came about with me just sharing what I was buying. It's only in the past sort of 5-6 years that it's actually become a job, really, in any way, shape or form, from a business perspective, but still doesn't feel like one.
Andrea?
Which part? The taking off of the community?
Yes.
Yes. So I have a nice anecdote. I mean, I started directly with community. And so the moment it took off, I don't really know which one it can be traced back to. Yes. But to give you an anecdote, I mean, I was in a previous company compared to like IAMCASA, which is nowadays. And I was on a seaside once, and I had a car chasing me, and we were super scared because we didn't know why. And they just wanted to say hello because they were following the videos. So it was actually physical as well. But I would say the community took off long ago. And on the forum, there was already a sense of community. But if we talk about Instagram, for me, the turning point was seeing people texting me like, when do you do a dinner in this city? When can you come to my city and stuff like this? Even more than asking about a specific watch. But on the other hand, as Tom said, I am kind of similar because me too, I come from like my own perspective, what I like, and that's also what makes us credible, I think, more than anything else. Of course, you can also post about something that maybe you would not buy, but that you find interesting for some aspects, because that's also the beauty of watchmaking. But this is what also keeps the community together.
Julia?
Yeah, well, I'm quite lucky because it took off quite quickly, honestly, and also the fact that I'm 25 years old, so I literally grew up with social media. I think I know what kind of content is engaging.
Rub it in.
Because,
I know I'm old.
No, you're not. Because I literally spend my time on Instagram and TikTok, so I know, how to catch people's attention. And also my videos are very short. I mean, most of them are like 50 seconds. And there's a lot of love and curiosity about watches, and so I think people are always happy to see content about watches, and that's probably why it went well quickly, and also I can relate with Tom because I'm very proud when I receive those DMs, and I always send them to the PR of the watch brands, like. Think of me, because sometimes I have people telling me, you posted this new watch, I got it today, or Also, I was mentioning earlier that I have a lot of girls who are telling me that they're happy that there's someone they can relate to. Not that I think that I'm like best girl in the world, but some girls they really relate to me because, as I was saying, I don't know if I can count how many girls there are in content industry. Like maybe like a couple of girls, and some girls they ask me a lot of advices, like what first watch should I get, and I'm so happy because I get to advise them on their watch journey, and some people they actually buy what I post. So and also I'm like the boys. Most of my content is organic, even though I get contracts sometimes. Like if there's a brand who wants to pay me and I don't like the watch, I'm not gonna do it. Because as we said, and I think people who follow us, they can feel that we're authentic, and that's why they enjoy our content. And yeah.
You wanted to say
Yeah,
something.
because she said something really like true. That I think what really works for me with my community is the authenticity, because I think my community was really built on these things of I'm a big joke guy. And during Fashion Week, I was doing a lot of joke about what I was seeing, and I think that really make people believe what you show, because they know, okay, he's authentic, he's gonna say, he's not gonna like it, he's gonna say it, and it don't feel like it's just a thing of, oh, he's been paid to show me that, and I think that's what make the community stick around and really stay, because they know maybe you leave because of this, maybe that's how you make your living, but you always keep this authenticity living, and that's what make the community stick around. I know that I have no problem saying like I don't like that, or this is not really what I would go with, but obviously some other people may be gonna like it, so I share in it because it's here and I can show you. And if you ask me, well, what is this? I'm gonna say, yeah, but I just show it because it's here, and I know maybe you guys gonna like it, but I don't hide the fact that this is not my type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I think this is really what make this generation stick in the community, is really the authenticity, because we see so many. You can smell it like from a mile away when someone just do stuff because he get the money out of it.
Yeah. That's what that was a common thing that you all guys told me about, how you're very close to the watches that you post. So can we go deeper into exactly your choices? And we're also here to talk about craftsmanship and what it means to you, craftsmanship in watchmaking. So deep diving into the content themselves and the watches. What type of watches do you guys advertise? And also, what are you wearing? Is it a representation of what you advertise? What kind of watches do you guys promote?
Show us.
Show us the rest.
You double wristing.
So me, as my dad told me about watches when I was a kid, at first, I had no, I didn't know how much it cost. And I think that's why I'm really authentic about how I like my watches, is because I started liking them without realizing that it's expensive. So it's not like, oh, I like this watch because it's expensive. And I think that's thanks to the education that my dad gave me, is that I really enjoy a watch because of what's inside of it. And that's also why I wanted to teach people all the complications, because I think it's important to realize all the craftsmanship that comes behind all of this, because most people, they don't realize, most of the people, they think a watch is just like an object to flex or like something expensive, and sometimes they don't know why it's so expensive. But like we could spend hours explaining how it's like why it's so expensive, because it's literally pieces of art. People, they spend months, years working on those objects, and me, I gotta say, I'm really into very nice pieces. I like also entry prices watches. I love them, but I chose to have this very premium positioning because that's what I like most. And yeah, I'm wearing a nice watch today.
You're obviously getting a better fee than the rest of us with that on your wrist there.
I'm wearing.
I need your manager.
I'm wearing a nice Nautilus.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I like all type of watches. But it's true that, and I think some people sometimes they tell me you only talk about expensive watches, but I think it's because I'm really passionate about high complicated watches because these are the ones that get me emotional when I see them. I'm like, how incredible the work that comes behind all of this.
So you're really explaining, what is a high-end watch, what is a mechanical watch, and the finishings and everything.
Yeah.
So you're kind of the educator. We can call you that, for sure.
I wouldn't. I'm too humble to say that, but I'm trying to at least.
I jump in because you said something very important and dear to me. The fact that watches nowadays we can say they're not useless. I still use them, but we don't really need them in our life, which is actually not a threat at all. It's the most beautiful thing ever because it converts a watch from being a tool to being an object, a work of art, whatever that conveys as emotion. So they must be emotional for us, and that's how I chose how to focus on the other hand. I started from vintage because I think my country, Italy, is very close to the world of vintage watches. On the other hand, if we talk about craftsmanship, well, I don't think there's anything that can beat the craftsmanship on vintage watches, but because society was different, and nowadays it might be actually better somehow because there was not that much of attention maybe to sustainability and to human sustainability and stuff, but the quality itself of the craftsmanship was incredible. On the other hand, to me, a watch must be something that carries and conveys emotion, at least to me, because I'm actually no actual media. I have a face, so everything revolves around my taste and about what I feel it's interesting. I always try to keep a high-end positioning as well, but I'm wearing two watches that are not really a high position because I feel like they're cool, honestly. I'm wearing the frog watch from Erard and Chaikin because to me it was fun to bring it to a fair.
Yeah.
It might not be that much related to craftsmanship. And
you go with Tom's shoes as well.
It does, actually. We can exchange if you like, brother. I would love that.
For a fee, we can swap.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about it. And I brought the Denizen with the Venturing dial because to me, well, it's a lot about craftsmanship and also the way that my generation can get into craftsmanship for a fraction of a normal price.
How do you, I will let you speak, you guys, after, but it's interesting talking about craftsmanship and how people receive it. Is it something like from your community that you have a question from? Is it something that they demand, that they ask, or they don't understand? No, go ahead.
From my hand, it's not something they demand. It's really something they discover. From my hand, it's like people don't know what watch are. Like it's let's say it's like to me, it's really the same things that perfume. It's these things of luxury that you've been seeing in the streets everywhere, in billboard, in things, and you need one. And it's perfume, you need to smell good. If you're a man, like the society make it look like this, but if you're a man, at 40 you need a watch and a Rolex, please. It's not, but we don't really understand why. We don't even understand why it's the things that we need or we feel like we need that at a certain age as a man and all these things. So that's why it was really fun for me to get in this way, because I start the things with watch just doing a shoot for the FFH and the FHH.
FHH.
And then after that, the day of the shoot, Maxime and Lorenzo brought me to a place, and I discovered the whole mechanism and all these things, and it snapped something in me. Because I realized, actually, all this, it's way more than just, having a watch, Like, but you realize while sharing that people don't really know. A lot of people don't know that, and so they don't really demand it because that's not something they think of. Oh, I need to. That's the thing. Oh, watch is like this, so I need to learn about it. But when you put them here, they're like, oh, wait, it'll make them way more interested. That's really what happened to me. Like, it's literally what happened to me because I knew, and yeah, I have to have a watch at some point. And then when I actually discovered what a watch was, then I actually understand, oh, this is not just about having one watch. It's about, like, I want to understand what this thing is. I want to, if I have one, I want to know, like, what I have it, what it really represents for me, and I understand the beauty of the piece.
Yeah. I think you can relate, Tom. This is your personal journey as well, right? Getting to watches.
Yeah, like most people, I started at the major brands, and as things went on, my tastes changed, and I realized actually there was a huge amount of very interesting stuff out there. And I became interested in stories and craftsmanship and who made the watch. And in a lot of cases of independent brands, you can meet the person that's designed the watch, designed the movement, has made it all by hand. And I like going into that on my platforms because I like showing people that I'm buying these watches not to flex, although there's an element of that, of course, but not just to flex, but there's a reason why I'm buying it, and there's so much intrinsic value in that. So I do bang on about it. In terms of the demand for people knowing about that, they don't know that they want to know about it until you tell them, and then they find it interesting and they kind of get into it. So, but that's changed. 15 years ago, I didn't really care who designed the watch, really. I just wanted something that kind of looked cool and I could change the straps on and blah, blah. But now I'm very much into, I want to know about the person that's designed it. I want to go to their atelier. And so today I've got a Ludovic Ballois upside down, very, very niche. You've got to be incredibly boring about watches to know what this is. But I actually bought this in Munich from a grey market dealer that will be not named round the corner. But I've since been to his workshop in Switzerland. I've forgotten where it is. That's awful. He's a great bloke. But he's done a piece unique dial, serviced it, changed the hands on it. So I've kind of bought a second-hand watch that was 12, 13 years old, but then also have now converted it into a piece unique. I met his wife, his dog. There's only like a few of them in the workshop. And for me, that's what luxury is really about. It's that kind of whole special process. And the watch really means something to me. And I was researching him for years before I even ended up buying it. But 15 years ago, I don't care about any of that. So I think it's evolved for sure. And my audience have kind of come along on that journey with me. I mean, some of them have scuttled off because I've bored them to tears, but some of them are still there.
Why to tears? Happy tears, I guess.
Maybe.
But did you share that, your story about your watch with your community, going to the atelier, meeting the
for
designer?
Sure. I mean, Ludo even let me stamp some of the dial. Which I screwed up every single attempt. In the end, he kept me away from the machinery. But it was a great day out. We went for lunch and had a few drinks. It was really, really cool. So this watch will always mean something to me. And you couldn't just buy one off the shelf.
No, you can't.
Really, really special.
How far do you go into your educational path when you educate your followers? Do you go really deep? I know it's for you, Andrea, it's a very big subject. You have big opinions on craftsmanship and also handmade and different finishes.
I do, but I'm very happy to have also offline side of things because I feel like on social media itself,
yes,
it's pretty complicated. You always have a trade-off between what's interesting and catchy and what's interesting and not catchy, and that's something we all know. You need hooks, you need things that work fast.
I feel it's a bit of a race to the bottom on social media.
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter now what you're doing. It's just about the first 3 seconds.
Very much so.
And it's just, there is definitely a trade-off there. The nitty-gritty isn't catchy. It doesn't work in the algorithm. And that's ultimately what it's all about. You can make the most interesting thing for people to listen to, but if it doesn't get into the algorithm, you've wasted your time. So you're constantly thinking, what is going to get further online, and what is actually what I want to do and what's actually interesting.
To me, there's hope because apparently YouTube is the first platform in the States, and it's not a short one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
There's a study report of a business of fashion that showed that YouTube is way ahead in terms of platform.
I think YouTube's brilliant because it's an online encyclopedia. It's there forever. Whereas if you do an Instagram reel or a TikTok, it's there for, you know, a week if you're lucky, but then it's buried. It won't get any more views and that's it, it's finished, unless you get a little viral one or something. But YouTube is there forever. If you use the right terms in the title and the description, you know, someone can log in 10 years' time and think, oh, I fancy a shaking frog, blah, blah. Is that right?
Perfectly
Shaking
correct.
frog? Is that correct?
Correct.
Is that correct? Can anyone
It's-
verify that?
Don't say better.
And it'll be there. It'll be there. It'll be you telling everyone they should be wearing a frog. So, whereas on Instagram, it doesn't really have that feature. You know, it's not kind of, it doesn't, there's no search feature really, unless you just look through hashtags and it's all a bit messy and horrible.
But and to me also, there's a second part. Like follow is a thing, but I don't think they're that important anymore. Like I would prefer to do something I believe in and to get 3 people to watch it fully than
I agree.
5,000 not to remember anything.
And I think with luxury brands, it's particularly worth noting that, you know, how many watches does Chaikin, for example, make a year? A few hundred, maybe, as a guess?
Well,
how many people...
With them, I think they're already more than 100. But still, yeah.
But point being, you know, even if you get 3,000 views on a video, which in today's terms is a flop, that's still, if they're 3,000 qualified, interested people that are in the market for that watch, you could sell that allocation out, you know, I can't count, 30 times over. So it's not just about the viral views, but then some brands, in terms of getting contracts with brands, they just want to see all your videos popping. But I always use the example in the automotive world of the most popular automotive channels are cars crashing at a German race circuit. You know, they get millions of views, millions and millions of views. Cars hitting the wall. I watch it. It's chaos. But brands don't sponsor that because they don't want to watch. So it's the same kind of thing, right? You can make car crash type content and it'll get millions of views, but really you're not qualifying buyers. You're just appealing to the lowest common denominator, and you're just sort of mindlessly attention seeking. So it's about treading that balance. Anyway, I've gone off on a tangent about car crashes. Sorry.
I didn't know it. I had no clue. And if I was an insurance company, I would sponsor that, actually.
Those videos are chaos. I'll send you some links. They're like 45 minutes long of just continual.
45 minutes of car crashing.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what I do in my free time. Just watch that.
Happy to know. Thank you.
Yeah, I do agree 100% with them. That's why when I try to teach something, I can't go too deep because after 50 seconds, people, they just scroll. And as Tom mentioned, the 3 seconds are really the most important. Like if people stay after 3 seconds, that's where the algorithm will push your video. So that's why actually, when I started, I would always start my video saying like, hold on, what was I saying? Have you ever wondered what the perpetual calendar is? And I show my face. I would always start with like a selfie of me asking the question, because also when you have an eye contact with people, it's way more catchy if you start with like a clip of a watch or like a movement, whatever. And so that was kind of my my strategy. And it worked well, but it's true that you can go too deep. And I'm not on YouTube, I only do short videos, but I was considering making a YouTube channel to do longer format.
YouTube Shorts. Churn them out. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, because it's interesting. And, you know, I'm lucky that I get invited to visit manufacturers. And sometimes I do short videos about it, but you can go deep in the visit. And I'm sure people will be so interested to see like a 30-minute video of like a AP, Cartier, whatever manufacturer visit. And so that's why YouTube is great. And I personally spend a lot of my time on YouTube. But it's also hard nowadays when you start being a creator, because there's so many out there. So it's hard to stand out. But I think in our field, watches, it's still kind of niche. So we have this comment dire?
Yeah, advantage, more or less.
Disadvantage, exactly. That we're not a lot of people doing this, so I think we still have, you know, a lot of things we can make.
Can I ask a question to everybody? I'm super curious.
Yes.
Do you guys, I mean, yes, I guess, but do you guys watch videos about watches from other creators?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I don't watch any of yours. I can't stand you.
No, that's okay.
No, I do.
No, because I don't,
I do.
for example. So that's why I was curious. Okay.
I do.
So where do you? Sorry.
I was going to say, if you're buying something or just generally So I do a deep dive if I'm looking to buy something, but otherwise I try and...
No, if like on YouTube, for example, if I have a video of like another content creator that pops up on my For You page or whatever, I'm gonna watch it.
But for like marketing purposes, like to do research, or like,
No,
would you watch it on your free time
For,
to get entertained?
For entertainment purpose,
Really?
I would watch those videos.
Are you
Yeah.
subscribed to him?
I do, of course I am.
Thank you.
There we go.
But not
Perfect.
only watch videos, of course, but I enjoy watching them from other people, of course.
Thank you. I was super curious.
You
Just
don't
for
watch my
example, I
videos?
never-
Are you saying you don't watch
No,
my videos?
I never. Yeah, of course I watch your videos, but I don't.
Of course.
We were talking about YouTube. I rarely get on YouTube to watch like a full video about watches. That was.
I'm not saying
more
I
like
watched the
context.
whole thing.
Okay. No, but that
But-
was not about it. Like.
No,
just-
but I like it. Yeah, I do like it.
Do you watch watchmaking accounts?
Not much.
Not much.
Not
So
much.
what
I
do you
I'll
guys
tell
get?
you.
I do. It's mostly Instagram for me. I know YouTube, the long-term video. It's most of the time when I know the creator, that it's because I'm really up close personal. That's why this whole thing worked out for me, because I think it came from people with who I had a personal relationship, and let's say they changed my way of seeing, those watch influencers as well, and discovering the different ones. Because for a long time, for me, a watch influencer was someone who put his wrist like this and take a picture on Instagram with a big ass watch, and that's just what it was for me. And then with Julien and the guys, I really discovered another type of people who were sharing, about their love for watches. So yeah, but me, it's really I'm kind of like him. It's way more in life. It's way more these things of life, because I think a watch is something you touch, like it's something this mechanical. You can go there, you can look the things, take a little loop and watch and see discover this whole thing. And I think it's so much better to be able to do it, in place like that than just watch a video on YouTube. So
Both
I don't.
are nice. You can do both.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm more into looking for event and be reactive when an event is here that I can go and things, than just spending time on, And I'm still a photographer and an actor, so I look other thing.
You're busy.
No, not in this way. But I need to
You're
work
more a
on other
live
things. So
person.
I prefer to, like, obviously, in my time, most of the time is
Interact.
go to cinema.
Yeah, I see.
That's what I do.
No, because we feel like we've been traveling with FHS, and we feel like younger people are more educated on watches. So they need to get the information from somewhere, like you guys. And because they are so digital native, like you, Julia, do you feel as if something that you would like to develop? Because it's also interesting to showcase a watch, even, with Instagram and YouTube, and not only, just showing the dial, but just explaining the processes, like you say, going more to manufacturers. How do you envision in the future how to develop? Do you think it's something you would develop, or?
I think it will still go very well, because I don't think social media is going to go anywhere. On the contrary, but personally, there's stuff I see on social media and stuff I learn through social media. But I also read books. Sometimes people they DM me. They're like, "How can I learn more about watches?" I'm like, "Just buy a book." There are so many great books out there, and I was considering maybe doing a book about watches. And I think it's important not to forget that there are other ways to learn things.
Sure.
Books, movies, whatever. You can. There are great online formations that you can do. I did one online
There's the
from
FHH.
FHH.
There was actually a book
did it.
written by Louis Nardin in collaboration, published by the FHH. Was it not edited? Yeah,
Yeah.
we published a guide, but we didn't publish it. No, but there's there's a book from Louis Nardin which is called "The Magic of Watches." What's the name? La magie des montres. So I'm not that bad. So the magic of watches, and it explained the watches and the principle. There are many books that we also recommend on our website. There's also our website,
Yeah, there's so many stuff on your website.
with all the glossary. We have many different articles, and we have an encyclopedia of so only technical. There's a huge range and everything you can find. FHH is, we're supposed to be the source, especially nowadays with the AI of watchmaking. Yes, I'm not it. Emmanuel is. He's our content director. Thank you, Emmanuel. So yeah, that's true. There's different sources. But it's true that today, even with watches and culture, there's a way to also educate. And they also promote glossaries and technical terms. And the idea was, how much are the younger generation interested in that? Is it only staying very surface level, or do they really go deep?
It depends of how you educate them. I think if it's just on social, that's why I rather meet people. If it's just on social, it can be really quickly lost in the amount of things that you will see all the time. And this generation need and have this need of feel personal, up close personal, like really I'm not just a number, I'm not just one more guy that you show me, I'm not just one more, I'm not just a number. And I think to be able to keep something that rich, it can be done only if you push to the level where it come to the up close personal. I really think that's what make it last longer. That's why dinner works so well, because it's not just someone who do vlog, even if he's really good at vlogging, but it's not just this. It get to a level where we feel that now it is real, and even if yes, a vlog, a video, it is real, kind of real too. It's a real person doing it, so obviously there is a level of reality in it. But this it marks you in a different level when you feel like, okay, now they give me the place and the space to actually learn touch, especially something like the watches who feel like so far away and so like, oh, it's for rich people, or it's for people who have not all the time than spend the money on this, or it's for people who already have a certain type of career, and I think this is what make it for all of us so real, and that's how you keep the education going. Yeah. And
also that's why I think it's important that people like you keep making watch fairs, because that's really how we get to feel them, see them in person, and it's very important.
Well, and I think, doing all that, I mean, to me, the education comes from passion in the end. If you're not passionate about watches, if you don't want to learn, there's no way we can help you anyhow. I mean, you would not be receptive, honestly, because I don't want to learn about makeup. There's no way I watch a makeup video, for example. Even if it's the best made video ever, I'm not gonna watch it because I'm not interested.
Yeah,
So there must be a genuine interest on one hand, and for what you said, to me the most important part is even from what you said about books and stuff. It's putting the effort and becoming active, and not just somebody that watches, which is in the end a passive act. Like you stay on your couch or on your phone and you watch somebody else. Well, in a dinner, at a fair. If you take a course, you take action into your passion, which changes everything. And I think that's the key about this all.
Yeah, I feel like we can be like the starters of a new interest. But yeah, people need to educate themselves with other ways.
And they will find a way. And the beauty of it is also with the community and social media itself, there's a lot of like little profiles of maybe collectors that might have sick collection, but might have 300 followers. And usually these are the ones that teach you a lot of things, because I also feel like there must be credibility, which I might not have as well. But to me, you're credible in the end when you buy the watches. Because when you buy the watches, you did your research, because you're putting your own money in it. And these people that maybe spent millions, which they might have also earned with their work and not just inherited, and they decided they would spend 200,000 on a watch, they know everything about this watch. And that's how you really learn the stories, well, you can learn some other parts from elsewhere. But to me, that's
Yeah, I think it's a great ending. Tom, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I definitely agree. There is certainly, and it's not about who can afford what and who's spending the most money, but if someone is actively spending their own money on watches, I tend to listen to them. But if they're just very clearly, going back to your point earlier, just a sort of a brand shill who's just sort of putting stuff out there, it's very clear which is which. So yeah, very definitely. I like the niche collector accounts, the guys that are just, or girls that are collecting. Do you see that old? There was a lady on Instagram. I'm going off on another tangent, called Old Watch Lady.
yeah, sure.
She really
got
cool
robbed.
collector. But
She got robbed, no? She stopped
Yeah.
her account.
But she's
Yeah.
just deleted her
Yeah.
account, and I'm devastated.
Yeah.
But she basically, there's this older lady. She called herself Old Watch Lady, but I think she was doing.
And if you take her, even if it's not an expensive watch,
Yeah,
she knows everything.
everything
about
she
it.
bought had a rationale, a reason,
Totally.
a story for her. There was provenance behind it. You know, even if it was kind of €100, but she had some crazy stuff as well. But those are the accounts that I like because they're not doing it to get brand contracts and get a load of likes or whatever. They're genuinely just sharing their stuff. So I try and tread the line
shot
between.
herself today. Huh? We
You what?
basically said everything bad about ourselves that we could.
We
say.
are unemployable. you didn't get fired last year. You got allowed to come back, but I think maybe we're all fired this year. Sorry about that.
Well, that was a good. Would you like to add something?
No, that's good.
Well, thank you so much. I had nickname for you guys because I think you're exceptional. And you said you needed a link, and I think each of you have a very particular community that you speak to that are like you. So, Julia, you're the educator. Tom, you're the influencer outside, but the collector geek inside. Andrea, you're the guide, the connector. And Marc Henri, you're the hedonist. Is that okay?
Sounds nice.
All
huh?
right.
It
Get on
was
the
encouraged.
CD, all right?
You will put that in your seat. Does anyone has any questions? Ah, yes. Scarlett, you had
Might
the,
have known
Scarlett,
you'd have
no.
one.
No, please.
you had the nice one.
This mic
I did
don't
try and
work.
get you thrown out.
This mic is not working.
It's not. Sorry. I thought it looked cool. It was good. Thank you.
Thanks for the talk, guys. Obviously, we all talk about watches as emotional objects that make us feel like a certain mood or feeling or some kind of sentimental feeling. Why did you all choose to wear the watch that you're wearing today to this panel?
Why did you
Why
choose
did
your
choose
watch?
The watch we're wearing today.
I just wanted to impress you. That's the only reason.
It worked.
Yes.
I was planning on wearing this one, but I had this one on my wrist, and so because this matches with the topic.
How
and
much
with
are you
the
being
blue.
paid? Come on.
No, I'm not paid to wear them today. But thank you for the idea. I will charge now.
No, because
Send an
of the
invoice
Tom
anyway.
shoes. We talk about it. I think it's because of Tom shoes. You wanted to.
Yeah, but
Yes.
We arranged this weeks ago, and I'm glad it's worked.
we have. Oh, no, I cannot say this.
No. Go on.
Answer?
No, go on. You're in?
Me, just because it go well with my ring. And that was, matchy with the belt as well. But this watch is just the story of it for me. It's like, cute. That was during the Olympic Games. There was a market in Pigalle, and I saw this watch. I was actually with Elsa. And we were working together for the Olympic Games. And I was like, well, I had a really good time Olympic Games and Paris Olympics, you leave it once, so I want to market, and I bought 3 watches this day actually. Yeah, during the market. So it's just I don't even know the name of the brand, to be 100% honest with you guys. It's just the fun of it. I just like the jewellery, and I was like, let's go.
Nice.
I knew we were going to be talking about craftsmanship, so I brought something that I had a hand in kind of putting together, and a very sort of niche brand from someone that sort of developed this watch from the ground up, movement, the whole complication, everything himself. So I thought it'd be in keeping. And I was fairly confident there wouldn't be another one here. So it's always,
Thank you so much, guys. Do you have another question? Well, I think we're done. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was
Thank you.
You.
really, it was a true pleasure being with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.